What's up guys, it's Christian here, and today I have a video for y'all that I have been waiting to make for a long time, and I've been putting it off because I've been in summer school, and on top of summer school, I've transferred schools, and I've transferred to a school out of state, so it was a long, hard moving process. And so here I am recording the video with enough time for you guys to watch the whole video before school starts. And literally I'm making this video for people who are going into college. So good luck to y'all. And a little bit about me before we get into the tips. My name is Christian Glomad. I have completed 2 years of school at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, studying mechanical engineering. And now I've transferred to a new school called Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. And it is in Prescott, Arizona. It is the #1 aerospace engineering school in the country, which is why I transferred over there. And I will be studying aerospace engineering on the aeronautical track. And my goal with this is to become an aeronautical engineer. And because I really love planes, I can identify planes that I see at airports. I love them. I'm pursuing my passion. And so, excuse me. With all that said, let's get right into the video. My first tip for incoming college students is to have your social skills on point. Okay, maybe you weren't expecting that, but I have to say it. It literally breaks my heart to see people in college who don't have good social skills, who are afraid to start conversations, to make friends, right? Because college is such a great place to make friends. There's literally so many different organizations that you can find people that you resonate with, and you can build deep bonds that can last a lifetime. I'm telling you. And so with all the opportunities in college, you need to have good social skills. It is a must. And if you are currently developing them, I have videos for social skills one video so far. I'm about to post another one. And I think it'll help you out. Continue to learn and grow as much as you can. Put yourself out there, even if it feels uncomfortable. Put yourself out there, because little side tangent, they really don't care. They're gonna forget about you in the next 10 minutes or so. So it's don't feel like you're gonna really embarrass yourself if you go up and talk to somebody and say hi. Don't. Okay? And put yourself out there in different events so that you can meet different people that you might become friends with. Okay? And I'll even say, the better your social skills, the better your life will be. I'm telling you, dude. And from what I hear, literally, a lot of companies are hiring people that they get along with better, as opposed to somebody that's smarter than that person that they get along so well with. It's hard, but it's the truth. In order to thrive in life, you have to have good social skills. And this, may seem, intimidating for some people, but really, dude, be yourself and learn the necessary traits that you want to learn to become someone who is socially good at having conversations. All right. And a couple other resources that I recommend using to learn your social skills are Charisma on Command and Hamza Ahmed. All right, so these channels really helped me when it came to my social skills, and I recommend them for you too. But I will say this too, while we're on this topic. Always and also find ways to improve your attractiveness, because this greatly improves your perception. There's a phrase that I have heard before that I keep in mind for the rest of my life, and it's a reason why I do all the personal development stuff that I do. Did I say that right? Yeah, it is a reason that I do all the personal development stuff that I do. And this is the phrase. It says, "It's not about what's said, it's about who is saying it." Literally, guys, imagine, two different guys, who approach a pretty girl. One of them, he's tall, he's muscular, he has great style, dresses well. Oh my gosh, I said great style, dresses well. And then someone else, he does not have great style, he's not in great shape, has bad grooming. who's getting the girl? Exactly. Right? And so, like, literally, it's your attractiveness that, and I'm like talking about like dating as like a frame for this, right? But like, it can also play itself in jobs, in, the way you're treated by professors, all this kind of stuff is your attractiveness. Like, because in dating, your attractiveness is like literally gets you through the door. Now it's your personality and who you are that does the rest of the work, right? And the same thing goes for life, right? A lot of times people like literally won't pay you mind if you're not attractive. And it's a harsh truth, I know, but it is the truth. You have to adapt, okay? So, and I will say, like, the combination of attractiveness and social skills is tremendous. I'm telling you, from personal experience, if you are attractive and you have good social skills, you will have a good life. People will treat you well and you will experience good times, okay? So that is it. Have your social skills on point. And a side tip as well to go along with that is build your attractiveness, because that really does help you make new friends and it really does help you succeed in life. And with that, we go into number 2, which is to use your time and your time freedom wisely. Okay, so let's compare this to middle school and high school, right? We, super early in the morning have our first classes, then it's like back to back to back, then lunch, then back to back. Then we're out at like 3. College, if you didn't know this, I didn't know this, and it was a surprise to me. College isn't like this. There are days, like most of the time, you'll only have 2 classes in a day. And for me, those classes were, they're an hour and 15 minutes. And so there's even been days where I've had 1 class. The maximum I've had in a single day was 3 classes. And so with this, you really need to be strategic about how you use your time, because if you're not careful, it can really get away from you fast. And so with this, you need to schedule your day the night before, okay? So what I plan to do is to use Google Calendar to put down like all my classes, when I want to work out, blah, blah, blah. But then with the time, classes, work out, study, da, da, da. But then what I plan to do is write down when I sit down to study at a given time, what I want to accomplish in that time frame. Like 12 calculus problems, for example. Okay, because, and I say that I plan to use Google Calendar because what really helped me in the past was I had a notebook and I literally wrote down 8 a.m. this, 9 a.m. this. I had a schedule. I planned out everything I would do. And on top of that, I, wrote out what I needed to do for a week, right? What for, a week, I have, this due then, that due then, that due then, right? That type of thing. So schedule everything and then write out what you have to do in a given week and when it's due. Okay, and I say that I, plan to use Google Calendar because I literally wrote everything out, and I think Google Calendar will be a good thing to use if I, to write everything out that's scheduled, and then with the time that I have, if I have a 2-hour study block, I write down what I want to accomplish in that given time frame, and to know exactly what I'm working on when I sit down to study. And because I'll say, when I was writing everything down in my notebook versus when I didn't, because there was a semester where I wrote down, everything, but there was also a semester where I didn't write stuff down. Of course I wrote a few things down, but barely consistent at all. And I saw a decrease in, I was more stressed. I was getting stuff done in not a timely manner, and it took a toll on me. And I honestly just managed through it because every day I did have a good idea of what I needed to accomplish in a given day, and you know, that kind of stuff. But like in hindsight, it's not good to just like roll with it. You need to write stuff down in college. Like it will like slip by your mind if you don't have stuff written down. And so write stuff down, okay? Sorry, I was looking at my list. Yep, and that was just making sure I had all the points that I written down, you know, said. Like schedule your day the night before and know exactly what you're going to work on when you do your homework. Said that. Now we move on to number 3. Study in the library. Okay, because studying in your dorm or at home, I lived at home, it can be distracting. And use the quiet study in the library because the library is literally specifically designed for studying. Your home is not. So where do you think you're gonna get the best performance when you study? The library, right? That makes sense? So study in the library so that you can get the best, literally the bang out of your buck when it comes to your study time. And it has literally been my go-to to study in the library. There are even times where I didn't have school that day, so I didn't need to be on campus. So I literally drove to the library because I wanted to study in the library. And even, you know, during school, instead of going home and, you know, studying, I stayed at the library to study because the library is designed for you to study. So study at the library. It will increase your performance massively. Number 4, get quality sleep, okay? I've noticed a huge difference in my ability to function on 7 or 8 hours of sleep versus 5, okay? And when you're tired, you gotta go to bed, all right? I've been guilty of this, and I'm literally making it a point to stop doing this crap. Is, you know, after eating, you know, scrolling on Instagram, watching, you know, a little more Netflix, you know, that type of stuff when I need to be sleeping. Because if I'm genuinely tired, like I need to go to sleep. And so that's the same thing that I recommend for you because, excuse me, you need to sleep. You need sleep to have your best performance. And when you don't sleep as well, you will notice a difference in your performance. And I don't want y'all underperforming because of something that you can control, which is when you can go to bed. So have healthy sleep habits and get good sleep. Number 5, work, chill, sleep. Okay, what do I mean by work, chill, sleep? So story time. This was my second year, first semester. It was a struggle. And so to the point where like I'm the type of person, maybe you wouldn't want to be like me in this regard, but I'm the type of person that doesn't like to ask for help. Ever. Except for tutoring. And that's it. So during the semester, I was like, man, I'm having a really hard time. I gotta talk to an academic success coach. And so I did. And they said something to me that was interesting and that I've held on for the rest of my life, and I want to share it with you guys. But before I share that, let me drink some water because I am getting thirsty. I need another sip. So here's what the guy said to me. So I had told him that I had an issue because during that semester I was taking French, and how the homework went with French is that classes were on Monday and Wednesday. So that meant that once we had Monday's class, we had homework based on the information that we learned on Monday's class that was due before Wednesday's class. And when we learned on Wednesday, we had homework that was based on what we learned on Wednesday's class that was due the next Monday. And the cycle repeats and continues. So because of my other classes, I put off my French homework and didn't do it until Sunday night. And like there were times where I'd literally stay up till 1 a.m., like I'd stay up till till like midnight, and then go to bed at 1 a.m. because of the homework I was doing for French. And then I'd wake up at like 5 or 6 a.m. because the class was at 8:30 a.m. And so I was asking this guy, I'm like, dude, I've got class at 8:30 a.m. and I'm finishing homework at midnight. And even though the best thing for me to do is just go right to bed at that moment, I'm staying up like an extra hour watching YouTube when I need to go to bed so that I can wake up bright and early at 5 a.m. Why am I like this? And so here's what he said to me. He's like, when you're doing work, you are in work mode, right? But then if you like go to bed right after that, you're literally still in work mode. So your brain, while you're in bed, you're thinking about, work and school. And you need to, take an hour or so to unwind before you go to bed. And so that's been something that I've held on to for the rest of my life. And it's something that I have to keep in mind as I'm in this phase now in my life where all that really matters to me is school, basketball, and YouTube. And of course, God first. And, doing like, that's literally all I, want to be doing. Like, I don't want to be watching YouTube unless it's educational. I don't want to be watching Netflix. I don't have, a video gaming system here in my apartment. Like, I don't want any distractions. And so that is a battle that I have to face of, figuring out how I can regenerate my spirits in a healthy way. And so, yeah, given that, have like just an hour though, right? Because it's really easy, as I've done myself, to go overboard when it comes to your time after you've completed all your schoolwork to, chillax. So work, chill, sleep. Even though I wouldn't want to admit it, the chill part is good for you, but only if you do it for an hour and an hour only, right? Don't go overboard, because that can be destructive and it can defeat the purpose of you chilling. Number 6, don't forget to exercise. So here's how I learned this lesson. It was during my second semester of my first year, where my classes were like really getting to me. I was, struggling with all the work that I had to complete, and so I ditched, my gym workouts so that I can continue to focus on school. But what happened is that I ended up like having less energy and focus when I was studying, because that is a side effect of activity, is that it improves your focus and it improves your energy, so it improves your performance at school. And so no matter what, guys, don't forget to exercise. Even if you're like super stacked with work, do push-ups or squats or a stretch, on your study breaks, because you need to keep your body active. Your body was not meant to not be active. It was meant to be active. And honestly, when you're the most active, when I'm the most active, at least, I know this for myself, is when I'm the most happy. Like, if I go days without working out, it takes a toll on my mental health. And so you have to keep yourself active for not just your mental performance, for your grades, but for your life. Number 7, be on the lookout for involvement opportunities, okay? And as I said before in this video, like just now, I am a super obsessive personality. I want success, right? I'm focused on school. I'm focused on basketball. I want to grow my YouTube channel. I want to focus on God first, and that's it. That's all like I want. And I'm telling you, as someone who literally wants to be just like tunnel visioned on their goals, on their potential success, to get involved. And so why am I, telling you this? Because when you get involved, you can, build relationships with people in those relationships, right? And that's the thing with friends. It's a hit or a miss, right? They could be someone that I mean, not friends necessarily, but interactions with people. They could be someone that you never see again, maybe someone you never want to see again. But at the same time, it could be a long lasting relationship for your whole life, but you never know if you don't put yourself out there and start the conversation, right? And so strive for excellence utmost in your studies, but be on the lookout for involvement opportunities. That's what I wrote down. And you want to, and I'll share my experience of, involvement. So I found out, well, like through walking through the engineering building, that there is a program that they have called Engineering Student Ambassadors, where they do tours, they do events to promote engineering for middle school, high school kids, tabling to promote the engineering program. And I did that last semester and I loved it. But I wouldn't have, been able to find that if I didn't, scan that QR code and fill in my information, right? And so see what you could possibly do. Like if there's something that you're like thinking about, maybe look into trying that. You never know where it could go. And now, even though I've transferred from UNLV, the person who was my leader, I can use as a good reference because I was a great person of service and I met people who are amazing, right? And that can happen. That happened for me and that can happen for you, but it doesn't happen if you don't get involved, right? And there is even another thing that I'll mention right now. While walking in the engineering building, again, I found a little poster that said they need someone to record themselves saying English phrases and they'll pay $100 to that person. So I filled that out, did the thing, got $100, right? So that's what happens when you just look on the poster walls for involvement opportunities. When you go to tables for organizations and see, hey, what's this organization all about? Amazing things can happen. So put yourself out there, look for involvement opportunities. And now I will check once again that I haven't missed anything from my outline. Oh yeah, and not just clubs and workshops, but events and seminars too. And let me first, before I get into events and seminars that helps me, let me go over 3 ways that you can find involvement opportunities. So number 1 is through email. Through my school's email, I got a lot of information about opportunities that are coming up that I might want to get involved in, all that kind of stuff, email. Number 2 is through flyers. Like I found the things that I mentioned before, the engineering student ambassador position, the position to speak English phrases, the random, bulletin boards that are in, the classrooms that you're in. They have things that might be of interest. You never know. So pay attention to them and every once in a while, stop and look at them and see what you might be interested in. And then number 3, my school did this, more than likely your school would do this, but is an involvement fair where it's literally, outside, lots of, tables and booths all lined up throughout the campus, and they're there for you to, come to their table and see what's up. And so I remember my first semester, I went there because I was in honors college at UNLV. And so for my freshman seminar, it was extra credit if I went to the involvement fair. And so I did, and it was great. And so this past semester for the involvement fair, I went as well because I, never know what opportunities might lie ahead. And so it paid off as well. So involvement opportunities are great. See what works for you and see what you can do because it will definitely enhance your college experience. I lost myself in my book. here I am. But first, let me get some water. Okay, so we just talked about involvement and involvement opportunities. So now my 8th tip for you guys is to take advantage of your resources. Tutoring, academic advising, your professors, etc. Like in college, you have lots of resources. Use them. Use them to the best of your ability as much as you possibly can. When last semester, I literally was in tutoring almost every day for Calculus 2 because I needed it. I went to tutoring for physics like a good at least once a week because I needed it. So, and academic advising too, right? Like make sure you're on track, everything's good. Academic success coaching, I wish I used more because I did need it. So make sure you use all your resources. Do not try to do this college thing by yourself. It's a new experience. It's hard for everybody. It was hard for me. Don't do it by yourself. Use your resources, your classmates. I totally forgot to mention about classmates, right? Your random friends that you've met. Use your resources, all of them. And I'll say one thing about your professors. Email them whenever you have questions. Ask them after class. Visit them during their office hours because they are there to help you. It's literally their job. Don't ever think that like if you go to a professor about a question that you're bothering them. It's literally they're incentivized to help you as much as possible because the more they help you, more than likely, the more success you'll have. And that looks best for them. And so always, if you have questions about things in your class, do not ever hesitate to ask your professors. They are there to help you all the time, okay? And number 9, give it everything you got, okay? College is hard, especially for STEM majors. To do well, you need to give it everything you got and more, okay? Like, I know people who don't put much into school. If they get a C, they're fine with it. But like me, I've put in literally everything I have into school, and I've only ended up with a 3.2 GPA out of UNLV. And here's what I'll say about that. That is, in part, a good thing, right? Because now we know, okay, I'm putting in this much effort. It's a strategy thing that's holding me back from the success that I can truly have. If you let effort hold you, like if you're not where you want to be because you're not putting in the effort, literally you're not even respectable. Period. There, I said it, right? Put in everything you have and then give it more, right? Because that's more than likely what your challenge is, especially school, will demand of you, is everything and more. Okay, so put in everything and more because in the end, you'll know that you've given it everything you have. And even if you're in a situation like me, you know that it's a strategy issue rather than an effort issue, rather than you're a lazy bum, okay? So give it everything. And that's right, and that's what I said. In anything, you want to have the satisfaction of knowing that you gave it everything you had. And I'll also say real quick, this is why you need to choose the right major, okay? Look at engineering, for example. Not really for everybody because it is the most dropped out of major that there is. At the same time, there's probably people who that's probably their thing, is thinking, is creating, is building, but they dropped out because it got too hard. And that's a sad story. It's a really sad story. But I didn't even like plan on talking about that, but I say choose the right major for yourself, because if you choose a major that you're not really passionate about, that doesn't get you into a field that you're passionate about, doing something that you're passionate about, when things get hard, and they will, you're going to crumble. Why? You're not even passionate about what you're doing. Why would you continue when things get hard? And don't even like sit up here and say money, because if you're in something for the money, it's not going to work out. All right? So choose the right major for yourself, right? I'm in mechanical engineering, and now I've transferred to Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University I'm speaking too fast. And I'm studying aeronautical engineering here at Embry-Riddle because I'm that passionate about planes. I love planes. I love watching planes. I was literally just eating lunch, watching a live stream of planes at the Los Angeles International Airport, where you see like big planes all the time. And that just like makes me like, every time that I see a Boeing 747 or a Boeing 777 take off, right? It's somebody passionate about planes that literally is able to tell you that a Boeing 747 is a Boeing 747, a Boeing 777 is a Boeing 777, right? That sees planes and, knows what they are and is excited to, board them and see the other planes as they're going on the taxiway. I've chosen my passion, and that's why I work so hard at it. That's why I'm persevering when things get hard, because I'm genuinely passionate about this thing that I'm doing, right? And even with basketball, where I've played all through high school, and even for the last couple of years, when I've been threatened by the possibility of never playing college basketball, that I've continued to work. And now that I'm at Embry-Riddle, I've gotten a chance to practice with the team with the possibility of making the team. So pursue your passions, because that's like what's your passion. Speck of dust, stupid speck of dust. It's your passion that's going to keep you going when things get hard. You need passion, despite what like people may tell you, oh, do it for the money, forget about passion. You need passion, I'm telling you. And finally, we're on tip 9, so now we move on. Excuse me. To our final tip, number 10. You can make your college experience to be anything you want it to be. This is something, as I said, I worked as an engineering student ambassador at UNLV last semester. I'm sorry, let me get a sip of water. Throat's getting dry again. As I said, I worked as an engineering student ambassador last semester, and through doing that, like one of my, people that I worked with, she, would say a lot when she was presenting that your college experience can be anything you want it to be. So make it what you want. Don't feel like you have to fit it in a certain way. Don't think that you have to do certain things that you're not interested in. No. Do what you're interested in, okay? For me, all I wanted to do was study, work out, and sleep, and go to church, and do my engineering student ambassador thing. And I did what I wanted to do. I woke up at 3 a.m. I literally did this one time. I woke up at 3 a.m. to study for an exam because I hadn't, studied for it the way I wanted to throughout the week. And it paid off. I got an 80 on the exam. And it was for calculus 2, if you're wondering. But I say that because I've done things that I find that I genuinely want to do. All right? In college, do things that you genuinely want to do, that you're genuinely interested in. Meet people and go to events that you're genuinely interested in. Because college can be whatever you want it to be. It does not have to be a certain thing. It's unique to you, and it's never coming back. So make the most of it. It's here. So literally, this is your time. So make the most of it and make it your experience. Love y'all. Take care.